I'm Aqua Alex, and you're watching Aqua Alex Live. Let's learn about tropical fish today. Hello, tropical fish keepers. Welcome to Aqua Alex Live. I'm your host, Aqua Alex Cardinale, and welcome to a Halloween themed edition of Aqua Alex Top 10 here on Aqua Alex Live on my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 scariest monster aquarium fish. All the fish that I'm going to be mentioning on today's video are fish that are commonly kept in the aquarium hobby, and they have traits that make them monsters. It could be teeth, it could be the ability to hurt a human by electricity, and other means. I'm going to be talking about freshwater species as well as a few saltwater species. And some of the species that I'm going to mention I have not kept before, while others I have kept and have a lot of experience with. So I will give you some brief information on each species as well as showing a picture of the species. And if I have kept that fish before, I will show you a video of my personal fish. So this should be a fun video just days before Halloween weekend. And I hope all my fish keepers out there have a safe and happy Halloween weekend. So before we get started, what, in your opinion, are the top 10 scariest monster fish? If you're watching the replay of this video, post them in the comments. And if you're watching this live, post them in the chat. Happy Halloween week, fish keepers, and let's get this amazing video started right now. So, shout out to my good friend Steve's Aquatics, who is watching this video live, and he's got two species that he thinks are pretty scary. The first one is the L007 Dracula Pleco, which is a very gorgeous pleco in my personal opinion, and I think it is a scary looking fish. And also the Vampire Tetra, aka the Pariah, which is a fish that I really love, and hopefully I'll be able to get another Pariah in the future. All right. So coming in at number 10 is a species of fish I just talked about last night, and that is the piranhas. Now, if you missed my information on piranhas last night, I definitely recommend checking it out. It is on my Aqua Alex Live playlist, as well as my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Now, piranhas have a fierce reputation because they have razor sharp teeth. Their razor sharp teeth can cause a lot of damage to other fish and other animals. They can kill fish in an aquarium within an instant, and they can completely injure a human by severing fingers. And even a adult black piranha, black rhombus, can completely take off a person's finger. So very, very painful bite. But as I mentioned last night, piranhas are more hype than they are scary. A piranha will not attack you unless you are weak, dying, or dead. 9 times out of 10, a piranha is going to leave a healthy living animal alone. But in confined environments, such as aquariums, piranhas will get territorial. So that's why you don't see many tank mates with piranhas in home aquariums. Exodons can work with piranhas and a couple other fish, but generally speaking, piranhas do not play well with other fish. Now, I've personally kept piranhas before, and I find that piranhas can be a bit of a boring fish. They are really, really skittish. They are really spookish, and they dart all over the place, and they need a lot of decor. But having said that, I do understand why a lot of people like piranhas because it's that spookiness and scariness and the hype that Theodore Roosevelt created that caused people to fall in love with piranhas. So right now, I'm going to show you a video of two piranha species I owned a number of years ago, and it is the Pygrocentris caribe and the Pygrocentris nateri, aka the red belly piranha. So here is the first video that I'm going to show you this evening, and it is my personal video and personal piranhas that I once owned. Alright, so those were my personal red belly piranhas that I owned a long time ago. So my friend Steve also says that alligator gar are scary monster fish. They are. They have razor sharp teeth and they're a very intimidating fish. He also says wolffish. I definitely agree on wolffish, and that is actually the next fish that I am going to be talking about. So, coming in at number 9 is the freshwater wolffish, the wolf tetra, known as Hapalos. Now, this actually does not look like a tetra. It looks more like a goby with teeth, but it's actually in the Cherison family. There are many different species of wolffish. You've got the common wolffish that comes from Colombia and Brazil that grows to about 24 to 30 inches. You've got the black wolffish, which grows to about 12 inches. You've got the Armara wolffish, which grows huge, up to 3 feet. And then you've got the rainbow redfin wolffish, which is actually a very, very beautiful wolffish. I've personally never owned a wolffish, and that will change pretty soon. I'll either be getting a rainbow wolffish or a black wolffish. But my dad had kept a couple different species of wolffish, and he got very close to being bitten during a water change. One of his wolffish was very territorial about his piece of driftwood, and it charged at my dad. But luckily, my dad had seen it. If he had not seen it, he probably would have lost some skin and maybe had an injured finger. Very, very scary fish. And these fish, the wolffish, they attack and they eat piranhas in nature. So they're one of the most dangerous predators in the Amazon River in South America because the largest growing species, not only does it attack peacock bass and piranhas and some of the other predators in South America, it also attacks baby caiman, which I believe are alligators. So that is crazy. But I have a lot of respect for wolffish. And I've done a video on wolffish, which you can find on the Aqua Alex live playlist and also on my YouTube channel. All right, coming in at number 8 is my first saltwater fish of the evening, and it is the moray eel. Now, the moray eel is a very, very striking looking fish and a very intimidating fish. Look at this green moray eel. Look how scary that looks. And look at the rows of razor sharp teeth that the moray eel has. Now, the moray eel looks like it's threatening someone in that position, but it's actually not threatening. That is just how the moray eel breathes. But to a human being not knowing about tropical fish, that can look like a rather intimidating pose. So I have had multiple saltwater aquariums, and in each aquarium I have kept moray eels. Now I've only had the snowflake moray eel, which is like a docile moray eel, but it will still crush a human's finger because the snowflake eel will eat crustaceans. So it has sharp enough teeth to break shells of shrimp, crabs, lobsters, and other crustaceans. So imagine what it can do to human bones. But the predatory monster eels, the ones that are fishivores, like the green moray eel, like the Thalassa moray eel, and some of those other large growing moray eels, they can bite a finger off in an instant, and they are very, very dangerous. That's why people should not be going near the moray eels in their natural environments because there is a risk of the moray eel biting them. So I have a video that I'm going to show you of a moray eel that my friend Jay once owned, and it shows that signature moray eel eating pose. Let's check it out. So as you can see, moray eels are a pretty personable fish, and they're definitely interesting to feed. They take their prey and they dart back under their rock. So when I get a saltwater aquarium again, I'll definitely get a moray eel, a very, very interesting fish. Snakeheads, aka Frankenstein fish. That is an honorable mention, a very, very scary fish indeed. These fish can wander on land and attack insects and other animals. So, snakeheads are a very scary fish and they're very invasive. A lot of people release snakeheads into our nation's waterways, and snakeheads are a very hardy fish, so they can survive just about anything. So that's why they're running wild all over the United States of America, and that's why nobody, no tropical fish keeper can keep a snakehead, unfortunately. It's a shame what irresponsible fish keepers do. Because irresponsible fish keepers released their snakeheads into the wild, true responsible aquarium hobbyists cannot keep snakeheads. But we got the next best thing, which is Crenchicicla pike cichlids, which are a very, very nice fish. The lamprey is absolutely a scary fish as well. It's like the freshwater vampire because these suck the blood out of other fish and they can possibly cause damage to humans. And goblin fish, I've never heard of, but I think I've heard that they're poisonous. So that is actually very scary for a human if they stepped on one of them as well. So, speaking of poisonous and venomous, that brings me to my seventh scariest fish, and it is one of my personal favorite saltwater fish, and that is the lionfish. Lionfish are absolutely gorgeous. They're one of the best looking of all aquarium fish species, in my opinion. Just look at the coloration of that fish, a dark brown. Now, Thanksgiving is coming up really soon, and doesn't this fish resemble a turkey? I think it does. But nonetheless, the lionfish is scary because it can cause a very painful sting. It can eject venom into a human being that can be fatal. It can lead to death if someone is allergic to venom. And you never know how your body is going to react to lionfish venom because it is not something that you run into every day. So if you're going to be keeping lionfish, you have to make sure you know where your lionfish is during water changes and when you have your hand in the aquarium. But other than that, the lionfish is a pretty cool fish. I really love lionfish, and I love the two that I had when I kept saltwater fish. So the last video that I have for you today is of my lionfish that I had, and this is a video that's on my YouTube channel after I fed him some market shrimp. Let's check it out. So as you can see, the lionfish is a very, very cool oddball predatory fish. I have a lot of likes and a lot of love for the lionfish. So coming in at number 6 on my list is gars. And these can be Florida gars, these can be alligator gars, long-nosed gars, and other different types of gars. So the photo you're looking at right now is a Florida gar that I owned earlier this year, and I gave him to a friend who has an outdoor pond. So the gar is thriving now, eating minnows and other good food. Now gars have razor sharp teeth, just like piranhas, and gars get much bigger than piranhas. They can grow to sizes above 2 and 3 feet. So imagine a big fish weighing about 100 pounds to 200 pounds, 3 or 4 feet in length, with razor sharp teeth, and you're catching them on the end of a fishing line. They can cause serious pain and cause you to bleed. So I would never personally mess with any type of gars because gars can inflict nasty bites. But they are a cool predatory fish to have in a large aquarium or a large pond. A pretty interesting predatory fish that is also prehistoric and comes from the dinosaur era. Coming in at number 5, a fish that I've never kept and a fish that I don't see myself keeping. And it's a species of fish I feel does not belong in the aquarium hobby because of its danger, but fish stores still import them and people still buy them. And that is the electric eel from the Amazon. Now, if South America doesn't have enough exotic animals, such as macaws, um, piranhas, freshwater stingrays, monster catfish, kanduru, small parasitic catfish, and other things, well, you can add an electric eel to that list. Electric eels are very, very dangerous. They have electricity that can kill. There is a video on YouTube of an electric eel being attacked by a caiman. But unfortunately for that caiman, the electric eel produced so much electricity and so much voltage that the caiman was literally shaking, and the caiman eventually passed away. So imagine the danger that humans have. If a human touches the electric eel, then pretty much they're going to get electrocuted, and it's going to be very painful, which is why I do not recommend people owning electric eels as pets, because electric eel can zap you out of nowhere and you'll never know it. So how are you going to feel if you're doing a water change, or if you're doing aquarium maintenance and the electric eel comes up out of nowhere, zaps you, you go flying, you fall on the floor and you bang your head and you're unconscious? You're probably going to be pretty upset that you bought an electric eel. So I think there are safety measures when it comes to owning fish that can hurt you. And I think nobody should be owning electric eels except for aquariums and museums. If you really want to see an electric eel in person, go to New England Aquarium or any aquariums near you. I know New England Aquarium has an electric eel display. I'm pretty sure Shed Aquarium has an electric eel display, and a couple of the other big museums do as well. And you really can't keep anything with electric eels because one, they'll eat them, or two, they will stun them. So I think they are a pretty cool fish, but they don't belong in the aquarium hobby. Now, I know a guy who used to own a fish store in Western Massachusetts, and he used to import specimens from South America, and they would be like from Peru, Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, and he would often bring in electric eels. Sometimes he brought in juveniles about 8 inches, and then he'd bring in like ones that were already 2 feet. And I always asked him, "Why are you bringing in electric eels?" And his response would be, "They sell." And I was like, "So you're really worried about making money over the safety of the people that buy these fish?" And he didn't have an answer. But to me, electric eels don't belong in the aquarium hobby. And that's going to go with some of the other fish that I'm going to mention for obvious reasons. But people buy them because they like that shock factor. Oh, I've got a fish that can harm you, like electric eel. Same can be said for the fish I mentioned earlier, in the piranha, the wolffish, the moray eel, and the lionfish. But I'd rather be bitten than shocked, I think, in my personal opinion. I do like the electric eel, but you'll never see me keeping one because of how dangerous they are. And they're not an eel, they're actually a knife fish, but that doesn't take away the dangers they pose. Another fish that's on my list also has electricity, but it's a catfish, and they come from Africa. They are known as the electric catfish. Now, these guys are ugly. They're so ugly they're cute, but they look like a potato almost. Um, Now, looking at this picture, can you guys say they look like a potato almost? But they're a pretty cool fish. Electric catfish, they grow to be about anywhere from 12 to 24 inches in length. So they would require a large aquarium. But good thing for fish keepers is they don't have as strong of electricity as the electric eel does. So they can be kept in home aquariums. Um, it's a risk keeping them with tank mates, but I've successfully kept electro catfish with synodontis catfish, and there's rumors out there that synodontis catfish are able to withstand the electricity that the electric catfish give off. Something in their bodies likes to flex it or something. And I've noticed electric catfish that I had with my synodontist, which was a featherfin synodontist. It looked like he would shock my synodontist, and my synodontist just stood there taking it and then chased the electric cat. So for some reason, the synodontist would eventually scare the electric cat. However, the electric cat can still harm a human, but it'll just be like a little shock. It wouldn't be anything major, but the electric eel would be more deadly. So the electric catfish, one of my personal favorite catfish species. I have yet to see any available here in Florida. Um, and the thinking is if I can't get a wolffish, I'll get an electric catfish. But we shall see from when I upgrade my aquariums. So my friend Steve's Aquatics has some more honorable mentions. Goliath tigerfish. Yes, they are a very scary fish. The African tigerfish that grows to about 4 feet, and they have razor sharp teeth. I definitely recommend watching River Monsters, and you'll see those razor sharp teeth that I am talking about. And the Kanduru, the parasitic catfish. They're often really small, and also on River Monsters, there's a story of one. Oh, this is gonna sound really gross, and I'm kind of scared to talk about it. But there's a kangaroo that actually went up a man's penis. Ugh, I just can't imagine that. So that's all I'll say because it's kind of gross. But yes, that is a fish that I would be intimidated of if I were to swim in the Amazon River. Very, very scary. Glad you mentioned that fish because that fish is scary. All right, coming in at number 3, the world's largest freshwater fish. And this fish is scary not because of teeth, not because of electricity, but because of strength and because of weight and because of size. This fish grows to be about 7 to 8 feet in length and sometimes bigger. Basically, it could kill a person with all of its strength, and that is the arapaima. It is a very gorgeous fish. It's like a severely overgrown arowana. Imagine an 8 foot arowana. It has nice red scales and a nice long elongated body. But these fish are like 500 pounds, 600 pounds, and sometimes even more. So imagine you're out fishing for arapaima and you hook a 500-pound fish, and you and a few people lift it out of water, and all that weight comes hitting you when that giant fish is splashing around out of water. So an arapaima could break bones and potentially kill somebody. So that would be a fish that I would be intimidated to catch in the Amazon. Hell, I was intimidated when I saw some at an aquarium that I went to. They had like a huge Amazonian display, and they had pacu, red tail cats. But the fish that I will remember from that display was an arapaima. That thing was friggin' huge. I mean, I've gone to professional wrestling events, and I've seen 7 foot giants like the Big Show and Kane. That arapaima was almost, if not the same size as those people. So it's crazy to think that a fish can get that big, and yet people will buy them for the home aquarium. Um, there are fish stores that sell them, and I don't know why, but people buy them. A couple months ago, here in South Florida, there were a few sightings of arapaima in our rivers. One came up dead, and the other was still alive. However, people weren't able to collect it, so it's probably out there surviving because arapaima, just like arowanas, are air breathers. They're extremely hardy, so it's probably feeding on smaller fish, and it's probably tripling in size now. And if it's living in a large lake, you're probably never going to see them because they can blend into their environment and swim even further away. But having said that, if we do get cold temperatures, which is very rare, it could possibly die since the arapaima is a warm water fish, but they are hardy as well, so you never know. But I wish there was a dwarf species of arapaima that did not get so huge. I know the African arowana kind of looks like an arapaima, but totally different fish, more delicate, and oftentimes they die during shipments because they're wild caught. And the arapaima and the African arowana do not belong being imported into the aquarium hobby. All right, my second scariest fish is the pyara, which is a fish I had only once. I had a Armatus pariah and or pyara, however you want to pronounce it. I had one of them, and he was doing great. He was eating tilapia, market shrimp, and even earthworms. And then he just disappeared, and then I never found him. It is a shame that I lost him because he was one of my personal favorite fish, and it was a fish that I really enjoyed. But I for sure will be getting another one. My buddy Bob at Malone's Monsters Aquatic Rarities, he imports them on a frequent basis. So definitely I'll have one or two more of them. Look at those teeth on that pariah. That is a very, very scary fish, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a fish that devours piranhas. So it could do damage to human. I imagine it could bite off a hand. So very, very scary fish and a very intimidating fish to say the least. But a very cool fish to have in the aquarium hobby if you have a relatively large aquarium and a lot of flow, because pariah like a lot of flow in their aquariums. Steve's Aquatic says the reason I don't swim in the ocean anymore, jellyfish. Yeah, jellyfish are very, very scary, very poisonous and venomous. Down here in southern Florida, we have a variant of jellyfish called, I think it's called God of War or something like that. And people have died from being stung by those. Um, and I can imagine how painful that is. So I personally, I try not to go really far into the ocean water because I think jellyfish like to swim in the current. So basically, you'll only see me maybe 2 or 3 inches into the water where my feet are just covered, and that's about it because I don't want to be stung by a man of war jellyfish or whatever they're called. There are other um, dangerous jellyfish species down here as well. So I've never met anybody or know of anybody that has been stung, but I have seen news reports about people getting stung by jellyfish down here, and even a couple of deaths. But one thing that I forgot to mention about the lionfish is that they are invasive here in Florida, and people get stung by them too. We get a lot of reports of people hunting lionfish, but 9 times out of 10 they end up getting stung because they don't know how to handle the venomous spines of the lionfish. So I think people should stop hunting them. I know that lionfish are invasive here in Florida, but more people are going to get stung, and it's not really doing anything by catching them to cook and eat. So just let them live. They're already invasive enough. So I know what I'm going to say is probably going to sound controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway because I'm the one and only legendary Aqua Alex Cardinale, and I really don't care what people think. But if we can allow invasive people into the United States of America, why can't we have invasive species living in our waters and other animals that come from other areas of the world? We welcome every person to become a United States of America citizen, but why is it that we can't have animals like fish and birds that come from other countries live here as well? But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother show. All right, and now my number one most scariest fish, and believe it or not, in South America, this is the fish that fishermen fear the most, and that is the freshwater stingray. Matoro stingrays, Lapaldi stingrays, they're all beautiful and they're very intellectual animals. Um, they can sense when fear is near and they'll hide under sand to get away from the fear, but they know that they've got a deadly weapon at the end of their tail and they're not afraid to use it. And that is why fishermen carry like sticks with a knife at the end of them. And if they see a freshwater stingray, unfortunately, they're gonna like throw that sword and kill the stingray and feed it to piranhas. They do that to avoid getting stung. And I can imagine the pain that getting stung by a freshwater stingray feels like. It is reported that freshwater stingrays are much more venomous than their saltwater counterparts. People can die from a freshwater stingray sting. So I personally would never ever want to be stung by a freshwater stingray. However, I've personally kept stingrays. I had a pair of Matoro stingrays, a male and a female, and they were one of the most personable fish that I kept. Once they recognized that I was their food source and I wasn't going to harm them at all, they became really tame and they took a liking to me. And they would even come up to the top of the aquarium and stick their face out of the aquarium to take the piece of market shrimp and tilapia that I had for them. But I ended up rehoming them because they get really big, and I felt like my 90-gallon or whatever size aquarium it was at the time was not big enough for them. I ended up buying this pair of stingrays from a friend who was leaving the aquarium hobby and he didn't know what to do with them. So I took them and I had them for a few months and they got big quick. And the reason they got so big quickly is that they were basically living in discus water. I was doing water changes every day. I was changing the filter media like every 3 or 4 weeks. And I was keeping their water pristine because I was reading online that stingrays are a little bit more sensitive than other monster fish and they can be kept with discus and stuff. But I never had discus with them. I had like severums and other fish. Um, but they are a pretty cool fish, but they can deliver a really painful sting. And that is why they are number one on my list. So that is my top 10 scariest fish of all time. Perfect for Halloween coming up this Sunday. Don't you guys like my stingray face? That is pretty cool. I just saw that though. Pretty cool. Stingray Alex Cardinale. All right. What a fun episode tonight. So Steve says, because if they escape into our wildlife areas and waterways, they would kill our native species. And yes, unfortunately, that is true. So technically, I was being a wise ass when I mentioned that because I know that they will harm our native species, and I was kind of joking. So hopefully, people realize that I wasn't being actually serious when I said that. How lucky! I didn't know you had stingrays. Yeah, I had them. Um, I had them for like a few months. I should have took a YouTube video, but there's pictures on my Facebook. Let me get my Facebook up and running, and I'll share the screen for you guys so you can see them. All right, let me get my Facebook up so you guys can see what exactly I'm talking about. They were small when I got them, but they got to be about 12 inches when I rehomed them. All right, so let me start screen share. Okay. All righty. Now let me go to photos. Uh, why is it not going to photo? Here we go. Albums. I have so many photos, so I'm going to have to scroll down to find them. But you guys will see the stingrays that I had. All right, let's see. I think it was like 2013. Let's see. Huh. Here it is. So I think this was actually the male stingray when I first got him. I know the picture is terrible, but this was the male stingray that I got. I got the male first and then the female. And this is like a week after I got him, and you can tell how big he had already grown. So basically, his tank mates were walrus, angels, pikes, and a couple of catfish. Nothing that can harm him because it would have got stung. But this is my personal favorite fish picture that I've ever taken because this was right before I fed him some market shrimp. So he was used to me hand feeding him. So he saw me coming close with a paper plate, and he recognized that it was actually a food source. So he got gotten used to eating, and he recognized that the paper plate was dinner. So that is my personal favorite picture of the stingray that I took. Let's see if I can show you the female. The female I had to quarantine in a 55-gallon because she had parasites when I first got her. But when I added her to the 75 with the male, I took some pictures. I thought I had a picture of them both together. But I think this is the female. Um, very, very pretty fish. Yeah, this must have been the female. I'm not sure. But I think that was the female. In the future, this is the male, Bubba. And I forgot what I called the female. But in the future, I'll definitely have stingrays again. They're one of my personal favorite illegal fish. Um, they just need like constant water changes and clean water. So those are my awesome stingrays. Hopefully you guys were able to see the pictures good. All right. Perfect. So hopefully you were able to see the pictures. Alrighty. This was a very fun episode of Aqua Alex Live. I want to say thank you to Steve for the honorable mentions as well as watching this video live. I want to thank everybody who took the time to watch this video, whether it's a live view or if you catch the replay of today's video. I appreciate your view. Every person that views my video, I appreciate all of you, because without you, I would not have a YouTube channel. So thank you for tuning in, Fish Keepers. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. I've got plenty of exciting videos coming up, other episodes of Aqua Alex Live. I've got cooking and baking videos. And next Tuesday, or Tuesday, November 2nd, I'm going to show you how to make a ribeye steak with a marsala wine sauce, a marsala mushroom sauce. That is going to be very delicious. And I've got wrestling videos and so much more. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And my last announcement before I let you guys go is to check out my Halloween bash this Sunday evening, where I will be portraying Sergeant Alex Cardinale, an imposter of Sergeant Slaughter. So check out my Halloween bash live this Sunday, Halloween night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Be there or be square, maggots. And the show starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, Halloween night. With that, I'm going to tell you to have a wonderful night, and I'm going to tell you to enjoy Halloween. And I will see you in November for some more wonderful aquarium videos. So Steve says, you've had a few podcasts about your favorite comedy clips and stand-up routines. I enjoyed any chance you will do a YouTube video of the same. Absolutely. I'm going to try to incorporate some entertainment and comedy into my YouTube channel. I'm going to see how Sergeant Alex Cardinale does. And if the Halloween bash does really well, then I think there'll be a character that I impersonate a lot. I even went as far as to purchase military fatigues, but unfortunately they're not going to come in time for Sunday. They're still shipping out, so. But I think Sergeant Alex Cardinale will be one of the comedy videos that I do. Anyways, Fish Keepers, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button and share this video if you enjoyed it. Peace out, Fish Keepers, and enjoy the aquarium hobby. Aqua Alex Cardinale here, and I'm here to announce the Ultimate Aquarium Hobbyist giveaway. On Sunday, March 6, 2022, I will proudly celebrate my 8th year as a YouTuber. And to celebrate and say thank you to all the amazing aquarium hobbyists and tropical fish keepers who have supported my YouTube channel over the last 8 years, I am doing the Ultimate Aquarium Hobbyist giveaway. there are 3 amazing prizes. The first prize is a $100 gift certificate to Tangled Up in Cichlids. Tangled Up in Cichlids is home to many awesome South and Central American cichlids such as Oscars, Severums, Waru, Angelfish, Jack Dempsey's, Viajas, and much more. They also have catfish, plecos, cherrisons, and even African cichlids. The second prize is a $100 gift certificate to Aquatic Rarities, Inc., aka Malone's Monsters. Now, Bob at Malone's Monsters and Aquatic Rarities is a true aquarium hobbyist with a love for monster fish and tropical fish in general. You will find things like lungfish, Lipterus, arowanas, four-eyed anablips, and more cool oddball fish at Aquatic Rarities. And the last prize giveaway, and the third prize, is Little Egypt Aquarium Club gift certificate donated by Little Egypt Aquarium Club founder Jeremy Stellhorn. Now, on the Little Egypt Aquarium Club website, you will find aquarium supplies for sale, like Fluval FX6 canister filter, hang on the back filters, aquarium heaters, and some awesome tropical fish food. You will be able to use that gift certificate to purchase some amazing aquarium supplies. So, aquarium hobbyists, to enter this giveaway, it's really simple. All you need to do is film a video of your aquarium and your tropical fish. In the video, talk about your favorite tropical fish species. Then tell me about what new fish you want to get and what aquarium supplies you can use. So, since Tangled Up in Cichlids and Aquatic Rarities only supply freshwater fish, it is beneficial for freshwater hobbyists to enter. However, saltwater hobbyists are encouraged to enter as well. And if a saltwater hobbyist wins, they will win a gift card to either Live Aquaria or Blue Zoo Aquatics, provided that the winner is a saltwater hobbyist. So all you've got to do is film a video of your aquarium and your fish, and also talk about your favorite tropical fish species, talk about what new fish you want to get, and what aquarium supplies you can use. Email your video to alexgoyankeescardinale19@gmail.com by no later than March 1st, 2022. In your email, leave your name, your contact information in case you win, and of course, your video. Each video entry will be uploaded to my channel and in my giveaway playlist. The top 3 videos with the most views and likes will be the 3 winners, and they will be announced live on March 6, 2022 during my 8-year YouTube anniversary celebration live stream. Good luck, aquarium hobbyists. This contest is open to every aquarium hobbyist, whether freshwater or saltwater, and any aquarium hobbyist in the United States of America. So enter right now. Good luck, and I can't wait to see your videos. Remember, the deadline to enter, March 1st. Attend! Sergeant Alex Cardinale here, wishing you a happy and scary Halloween season. Don't forget, maggots, to turn into the 2021 Halloween Bash, hosted by me, Sergeant Alex Cardinale, live on Halloween night, October 31st at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale. Be there or be square. And that's in order.